you are extremely popular. You are one of the most famous athletes in America. Uh, I've sat there and watched you and Jim France talk. You're friends. Uh, People admire you. The industry looks up to you. Uh, how do you deal with that? I mean, I know that you hold the key. How do you deal with that? Is it a burden or do you like it?
I don't feel it.
Really?
I don't feel that way. I feel like that every day I got to get up and earn respect. Every day I got to get up and earn my place in the sport. And I, I don't take it for granted. I don't just assume that I'm going to always have a spot at the table, And so I love broadcasting. I love doing that. I hope to be doing it for a long time. And but I don't just assume, man, I'm gonna be a broadcaster as long as I want. I I think I have a pretty great relationship with NASCAR. I think sometimes you'd be surprised at how how much I get myself into trouble on my own podcast, maybe running my mouth a little bit too much. I get this happens. This has happened. This is exactly how it goes every single time. Something happens in NASCAR. I get mad about it. I go on my podcast or over to a buddy or whatever, right? And go, that's BS. Why'd they do that? That shouldn't have done that. I don't know why they did it that way. That had never done it this way. And then if I take a minute and go talk to Mike Helton or Steve O'Donnell, they'll go, well, let me explain to you why we did it that way. And by the end of the conversation, you're going, oh, man, that makes total sense. Like, I get it. And so a lot of times I don't really, a lot of times I get myself into a little bit of trouble. And so that makes me feel like I've always got to be earning back, my space, my place, my role, my job, whatever it is in this whole thing. And I always want to be involved in the sport one way or another. I want to matter. I want to be an asset to it. I want it, I want to make a difference. I want to add to it and raise it up. But sometimes my actions would say different, right? Sometimes my actions would tell you that I'm pushing back against it. And it's something I got to personally work on. I truly believe, man, that like my role in life outside of, being a dad and a husband and all those things and running Junior Motorsports. I'm sitting in Kelly's office right now doing this interview. Outside of just the things that you see, my role is to make NASCAR better every day.
Absolutely.
Now, do I live that way? No, not every day. I get it wrong every once in a while. But that's truly what I want to do. That's where my heart is, right? And but sometimes I get it wrong. And but trying to wake up every day and wanting to be an asset to something, I don't ever think you wake up feeling like I'm the center of this universe, or you don't wake up like understanding your importance. You just wake up every day going, man, I want to matter. I got to do something today to make a difference. I got to do something today that, a Mike Helton or Steve O'Donnell will go, man, I'm glad he's on our side, or I'm glad he's in this business. He's helped us today, and it's hard to move that. It's hard to make that difference sometimes. And sometimes you get it wrong. And sometimes you hopefully get it right.
I find this amazing, how humble you are. A year ago, I commented on why Carl Edwards left, and a little birdie told me, you might have, that one was a little rough. It was my take. I didn't mean anything mean by it, but I just want to let you know I relate. You know,
It's exactly
that was on the Kenny Wallace show.
It's exactly that kind of thing. You know, you know, we do these shows, we work to provide content for people and give people entertainment or a unique point of view. And sometimes, you know, you say things without thinking about how it might affect the other person, right? Or the other side. And so sometimes I'll get critical in NASCAR, and I think, well, they ought to be used to that, right? They ought to be used to people being critical about them. And they, you know, I look, you know, content is content. It's all good, right? We're all talking about the sport.